Guys, so we're doing the last bit of the face products. So this is just all my face palettes. There are some kind of higher end ones in here, but I didn't want to swatch them the other day because I had a lot. There's not as much in Drugstore, I don't think. And I'm going to see if I can get rid of any of this, because I feel like I've just got too many palettes. So we'll start off with this Imagination one. I did really well with this a couple of years ago. Can you remember, if you've been watching a while? Look at the state of the packaging. All it's got left in it is highlighters, and I don't know if I want to keep them highlighters, so let's swatch them. They feel quite chunky. I think I'd quite easily be able to declutter this into the bin. Like I said, I've got more than it's fair use, and they feel quite chunky. Let me show you the swatches. Okay, so here we go. So the white one is called Limited Edition. The middle one is called Slay My Life. That's actually a split pan. I've just swatched them both. And then the last one is called Angel Face. Yeah, I think we're going to be decluttering it. I don't need it. I've got white highlighters. I've got golden highlighters. So let's get rid of this one. Let's try this Catrice one. So it's called the Luminice Highlight and Blush Glow palette. Barely had any use, guys. I think I've kept it around for that really nice kind of pinky NARS Orgasm dupe blush. I've got quite a lot of them now, so do I need to be keeping it? Because I've not used it that much, I feel like I should put it on the chopping block at least, if I feel like I'm going to get rid of it. The middle one's quite chalky. Quite nice though. Oh yeah, that blush is really nice. Right, let's show you these. Okay, so here we go. So I didn't think they had shade names on, but they do. Well, not shade names. The first one says highlighter. Well, the middle one says highlighter as well. They are similar shades, but the middle one's a bit darker. And then the third one says it's a highlighter blush. So basically a blush topper. Isn't that blush topper though really, really pretty? So I'm keeping it for now. Maybe I'll put it on the chopping block, I'm not 100% sure. It is really, really compact. It makes a really nice travel highlighter palette, I think. So yeah, let's keep this one. Okay, now I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll do the self-made ones at the end, shall I? Let's take these out and I'll just show you the ones that I've bought. So Imagination one is definitely going. Let's do the BH Cosmetics Doja Cat. Looks like that. And then again, this is one that I've not really wore a lot. I bought it for that orange blush, but the other two blushes are really nice winter ones. So it's the Doja Cat. I don't know if it's going to focus. Yeah, there we go. So Doja Cat Flora Poppy. I think they brought a couple of these out. They don't feel like, they feel quite chalky. Oh, but that orange is pretty. And I don't have many brown blushes like this. This is the perfect fall blush palette, I think. And we've got kind of a mustard shade going on in there as well. Right, let's show you these. Just look at that beautiful orange. That is absolutely stunning. So I don't think I'll get rid of this at this point. Then we've got the mustard one in the middle. Sorry, the brown one in the middle, and then the kind of mustard shade at the end. It is so, so pretty. Let me show you again on the palette. There we go. That orange looks a lot brighter on the camera, but that's what it looks like. Very, very pretty. One I'm sure I'm just keeping it around for the packaging. It's the Little Mermaid, guys. Find Your Inner Mermaid highlighter palette, but you can see, if I bring it up close, you can see just how chalky they're becoming. But I might just keep it as kind of memorabilia. Especially as the Little Mermaid palette has just come out. See, this one here, I've just swatched this one. What's that one called? Treasure. And it doesn't actually feel that chalky. So let's swatch Under the Sea. And that one there, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see it when it focuses. Look how chalky that looks on the finger there. But blended out, guys, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I think this is a chopping block item. Shipwreck's the same, it's quite chalky, but blended out, looks pretty. A lot of these are like blush, and maybe there's a bronze topper in there as well. And then Thingamabob, again, they just seem like really chalky, but they blend out like a dream. Imagine's a lot smoother. Imagine is going to be more of an eyeshadow for me, and then Bubbles looks smoother as well. So I think they're just different formulas, because they're not all texturised. Right, let's show you the swatches. Okay, sorry it's a bit dull today, it's going to rain apparently, so I wanted to get this done before I take my mum to the doctor's. So the first one is Treasure, that is just beautiful. The second one is Under the Sea, I could definitely get away with wearing that. The third one is Shipwreck, more of a blush topper for me. The fourth one, have I forgotten one? So we've got Treasure, Under the Sea, Shipwreck, oh no I haven't, it's there, it's the same colour as my skin tone. Dope, let's start again. So the first one is Treasure. I would say that's, so Treasure I would say is a blush topper. Then we've got Under the Sea, which is definitely my shade. It's like a golden champagne shade. Then we've got Shipwreck, which is another blush topper. Then we've got Thingamabob. That actually looks like it might work for me. Then we've got Imagine. I think that would make a really nice blush topper over some of my darker blushes. You can't see it, but I have swatched it. Oh, there we go. Bubbles. So that's what they all look like. Bubbles and Under the Sea, and possibly Thingamabob would make good highlighters for me. So yeah, that's it. Let me bring it up closer so you can actually see what I mean. Can you see just how powdery they are? So that brown one, Imagine isn't, and Bubbles isn't, but then you come here to Thingamabob, that is. Treasure isn't too bad, and then these two, maybe they're just kind of going bad, but I'll keep the palette anyway because it's beautiful. Again, that's what the palette looks like. How can I not, guys? It came from Primark and I did get it a fair few years ago. Okay, so now we'll get this sleek one. This should have been swatched with highlighters, so I don't know if it's going to focus. Yeah, it is. Highlighter palette in Solstice. So you're getting Ecliptic, Hemisphere, Subsolar and Equinox. So I'll show you the shades. I will swatch the cream, but I don't use it, just because I've had it for so long. It's very emollient though. I'm not really a fan of it. That would make a good cream to put this on first, and then to put the purple highlighter over the top. Still feels like it's in date, to be honest. But I have had this years, and I could pass this on if I really wanted to, because it reminds me of the KVD one that Naomi sent to me. It's probably going to be one that goes on the chopping block to decide, because I wouldn't say the beaming highlighters, and I like a good beaming highlight, so I need to see what they look like on the face. So the first one is the cream Ecliptic, then the second one is the matching highlighter, I guess, that one's called Hemisphere. Then we've got Subsolar, which is the third one down, and then the last one is called Equinox. So that's what they look like up close and personal. So the next one is this BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease, what my friend Karen got for me. I've barely used it, guys, so it's not going anywhere, and it wouldn't be going anywhere anyway, just because it's a gift. So let me swatch the blushes out for you. Right, so first of all we've got Mickey Mouse. Oh, it's so pretty. Need to start using palettes more. Then we've got Paros. Don't know if I pronounced that right. If there's anyone watching from Greece, please tell me. Or even if you're not from Greece. Then we've got Santorini. I've been there. It's lovely. Oh, Santorini's pretty. I'd say Santorini is more of a satin. And Mickey Mouse looks like a satin blush as well. Highlighters, we've got Athens. Beautiful. And then we've got Milo or Milos, which looks like a blush topper, for me anyway. And then we've got Olympia, which looks like a bronze topper for me. Let me show you the swatches. Okay, they're looking so much darker, these swatches, guys, just purely because it's dull. It's a dull day in the UK. So the first one is Mickey Mouse. The second one is either Paro or Paros. I don't know how you pronounce it. Then we've got Santorini, which is the third one. The highlighter is Athens. The fifth one down is Milos or Milo, which would make a nice blush topper on my skin over really any one of those blush toppers. And then Olympia is not as golden as it looks there. Like I said, you know, it's the lighting. And yeah, that's Olympia. So that's all the swatches there. Let me see if it's going to... So that's what they look like in the palette. Really, really pretty. Yeah, they're looking a lot darker in the palette as well. Maybe I need to play around with my lighting settings on my camera. Right, and both of these are new. I don't think I've ever used this one. But I'm actually thinking about passing it on. Trying to find someone who might want it. I've only ever swatched it. Well, that bronzer is far too deep for my skin tone anyway. I think I'd be able to get away with everything else. So let's swatch this one first. It's called Sunkissed Crystal Craze Bronze and Glow Palette infused with minerals. Yeah, that's the full name of it. So, yeah, that bronzer is definitely for deeper skin. I mean, if you put a tiny bit on and really, really blend it out, I may be able to get away with it, but it's really red toned. The highlighters are really stiff in formula. Again, they're a lot like the Primark one. Can you see all the powder there? And if I'm keeping the Primark one, I don't really need to be keeping this. And then we've got a blush, a nice peach blush. They all just feel really, really powdery. But to be honest, it's cheap makeup, guys. Not like Poundland cheap or anything like that. I think that was £2.99 or something like that from Bodycare. I'll show you the swatches. Right, so they don't have names on, so we've got the bronzer there. It's not overly dark, but you can only go in with the tiniest amount. Maybe I'll try it just as an experiment. You've got the two highlighters there, and then you've got the blush. I don't know though, guys. I've got so many face palettes. Do I need to be putting it? Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. To be getting through this little lot faster than I got through the high end. I'd never have thought to myself I've got more high end than Drugstore. So this is the Sunkissed Copper Crush, and I actually prefer this more than the other one that I've swatched. I think it's because it's kind of marble. And that bronzer down here, why won't it focus? That bronzer down here, the marbled one, I absolutely really, really love. I think I've only used it once. So let's swatch it and let's see if it's going to be a chopping block item. Yeah, it's so much more smoother. And the bronzers do look the same. Let's compare them. They do Oh my god. Sorry guys. They do look similar, the bronzers. No. The other one that I swatched is darker. So I'll leave that on and then I can show you it. So the other one that I swatched was darker. So I've just swatched this bronzer. So on the arm you'll see this one first. So let's go on into the marble blush. That's really pretty. Really fair. Now this to me looks like it would suit deeper skin tones than mine. But I would say it's for light to medium. Then we've got this bronzer. Yeah, there's hardly any pigment coming off this bronzer. So it's definitely not for a deeper skin tone. And maybe mixed. Maybe if I mix both bronzers, that would be nice as well. I definitely want to put this on the chopping block. I don't know if I'll be keeping it come December, because you don't seem to be getting a lot of pigment, which is not a bad thing, is it? It's good sometimes to not have a lot of pigment from your face products. That way, if you go overboard like I do, there's not that many mistakes to fix. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so the first bronzer is from that palette there. So the one that we swatched, and then the second bronzer is the one from the other palette, from the previous palette. They're nowhere similar at all. The one that's in front is a lot lighter, and then we've got the peach blusher from that palette, the marbled peach blush. Then we've got the marbled bronzer, and then we've got the matte blush as well. I feel like it's just a really nice palette for the price point. I think that was $2.99 as well. So that's all the swatches. We've literally only got 4 palettes left. So we've got the Moira Oh La La. This one's going nowhere, guys. The only sad thing about this is the highlighter came cracked, and I tried to repress it, and it was a delicate highlighter. It just kept breaking, so I had to take it out. So that highlighter was called Honeymoon. I barely use this palette, so let me show you what it looks like. Doing this has made me realise, you know, I need to stop pulling for singles and start using these palettes. I might actually pull this palette out next shop my stash, because, or I might leave, yeah, I might do that, because it's a beautiful palette. It's got some beautiful tones in for autumn as well, but the pink's definitely a more like spring summer. There's a really bold pink. Yeah, I'm just missing the highlighter. Okay, so let me tell you what there is. So the first one's called Blossom, then we've got My Heart, then the brown one there in the middle is called Dreaming, then we've got Heartbreaker, and then we've got Until You at the end. Let me show you the imprints in the palette. Some of them you won't be able to see, but look at that one. I never really liked pink blush up until recently, but I've really gotten into it. So yeah, like you can see, most of the imprints are gone, but I really do like this palette, so it needs to be loved more than it has been. So yeah, I'll definitely be bringing this out soon, so keep an eye out for that in one of my next Shop My Stashes. Okay, so this is one of my oldest face palettes. It might be the oldest. So this is Sleek Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette in the shade Light. Do they even sell this anymore? And again, at the time I got this because it was a dupe for the NARS Orgasm. So let's swatch it. Wow, that bronzer still feels really smooth. I feel like I should put this in a project. What do you think, guys? Just because it's so old, and I've decluttered my NARS Orgasm blush, so you know, it might be nice to put, oh, that is so stunning. It might be nice to put this one in. I'd just like to know your thoughts. Again, no shade names. We've got the bronzer, the highlighter and the blusher. How alike does that look like the NARS Orgasm blush though? And let's show you up close. So should I pan that? Do you think I should bring it into a project? We've literally just got 2 left and then we can move over to lipsticks. But like I said in a previous video, what I'm going to be doing is lipsticks. I might actually put eyeshadow palettes up before lipsticks and like eyeshadow singles, just purely because I always put eyeshadow on before I do lipstick. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So you won't see lipsticks for a while, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do higher end lipsticks and then Drugstore. Otherwise it's just going to take too long. So we've got the Essence Contouring Duo palette, which looks like that. I really don't have too many contours. So I've got the NYX Taupe eyeshadow, I've got this one, and I've got the Kevyn Aucoin one. So I feel like I should keep it. Let me swatch out. Wow, it's really smooth. That is beautiful. And then there's a powder which may not show up. I do use this powder as well when I use this. Yeah, the powder's not really showing up. But yeah, I'm going to keep it anyway. There we go. Oh, you can see the powder next to it. Isn't that a nice shade for me? For my first skin, that contour powder. And then you've got just the normal powder at the side of it there. So that's what they look like. And I'm going to keep that because I don't have much. And it's pointless getting rid of it for the sake of getting rid of it. That's not me. This is really just about showing you my makeup collection, and if there's any declutters along the way, that's a bonus. And this one was the last palette. It's not the last palette, guys, because I've got my self-made ones. Let's bring them in there, just so I remember. So this is the last palette that's been bought from the shop. My sister got me this for my birthday a few years ago. It's from Primark. It's just called the Summer Stern face palette, and I brought this in to a Shop My Stash. Not this Shop My Stash, just gone, the one before it. It is pretty. So it's weather related. We'll swatch the highlighters first, and it's still really pigmented, so there is no reason for me to be decluttering this. I don't really care for the middle highlighter. And it looked alright on the skin, but swatching it out on the hand, I don't care for it. The third one, I would say, is kind of a bronze topper. It's the blushes and that first highlighter I like it for. Right, so the middle blush goes on powdery, but then it swatches out really, really nice. And the same for the third blush. It's just really, really powdery. The third one's more satiny. Let me show you the swatches. Okay, let me tell you the shade names, because these do have shade names, which is not like Primark at all, is it? First one is Thunder. The middle one is Cloud. The third one is Blizzard. They're the highlighters. The blushes, the first one is Humid. The middle one is Degrees, and the last one is Dewy, and that's what they all look like together. Isn't it pretty? So we're going to look at this self-made palette first. This is the Pro Artist one. I think I'm going to get rid of these Super Shocks, but we'll test them, and we'll obviously look at the blushes as well. That blush, I mean, it's slightly deeper. This blush here is a lot like that one. But yeah, we'll swatch them near each other actually. Oh, this one is really smooth, the top one. These are Deca Scarlet pans. I used to subscribe to Deca Scarlet. Do you know those palettes they brought out? I'm going to swatch them side by side. Right, so I'd say they're a little bit similar. This is from the Balm. That one's from Deca Scarlet. I would say they're a little bit similar. This one is like a satin, and satin's my normal preference. So if I ever need some space in here, I'll get rid of that one. I'm not going to do it at this point because I actually do like the way it looks. You can see it in a second. And yeah, that's what I'll do. Then the next one is a highlighter, I think. Yeah, it's definitely a highlight. It's like a pinky highlight. I don't use these enough either. It's like I forget about them because they're self-made palettes. So this is another one I need to bring out soon. Then we've got like a really nice baby pink highlight, which I don't have that many of them, especially not like in single format. I think I've only got the Dior, so it's nice to have some in palettes. Then there's another highlighter down here. Right, chopping block, definitely this for that highlighter there, and maybe that blush there, and maybe even that highlighter there. I definitely want to keep that because I don't have too many lighter pink blushers, and I definitely want to keep that one there as well. I don't think I'll be keeping these. Let's see. No, they're dry, they can go. Let's put the highlighter up there. Will the blush fit up there as well? No. That blush will though. Get it back down there because it won't fit. Oh! Have I broken it? No. Because then it would have to go in the bin. Right. We'll leave it there. So we've got all that space for other things. Right, so those are being decluttered. And if you're interested, oh, there's no names on them. Oh, I need to show you the swatches, don't I? Okay, so the first one is from Deck of Scarlet. I can't remember what palette it's from. The second one is from The Balm. The third one is a highlighter from Deck of Scarlet. The fourth one is another blush from Deck of Scarlet palette. And the fifth one is a highlighter from another Deck of Scarlet Iron Face palette. So that's what they look like. They're pretty, aren't they? You can see those first two, they're so different in tone. I would say the Balm one is definitely more rosier, more satin. So that's that. Okay, so I never know which one of these is my favourite. So this one, I think I curated this one for around autumn time, but I'm always switching things out. So that's what that one looks like. So let's do the swatches. Okay, so these are tart ones. Don't ask me the names, guys. They've come out of palettes. Oh, that's pretty. Right, so the tart ones will definitely be staying. Then we've got Havana by Benefit. Right, so I am getting some payoff, but I wouldn't say much. I need to put that on the chopping block. It's a full blush, guys. I don't know if they do this anymore, Benefit, but this is a full blush, and they go for like £27. I just don't want to get rid of it for the sake of getting rid of it. So that one's going to go on the chopping block. Then, what's this one? California, I think. So this one's California, I'm almost sure of it. And I really like this one as well. So, let me show you a swatch of it. Yeah, that's far more pigmented. And then we've got another tart one, which I think this one is quite satin. Yeah, that's pretty. Then this one here is a Primark one. Yeah, that one's a Primark one, and I really like this as a blush topper. Goes really nice over some of these more peachy leaning ones. Right, and then we've got a purple blush from Deck of Scarlet. Right, so I don't have any purple blushes at all, guys, so I think maybe try it in the winter time before the next declutter. And then I've got a bronzer here, from a Deck of Scarlet palette as well. I think this is a glowy one. I think that's why I've kept it all this time. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit trashed and cracked. Right, I'll show you the swatches. Okay, so the first two are from Tarte. Then the third one is Havana. Can you see how light it is? Then the fourth one is Benefits California, I think. And then we've got another Tarte one there. Sorry I can't give you the names, guys. And then I've got the Primark one there that I use as a blush topper. The purple one from Deck of Scarlet and the bronzer from Deck of Scarlet. I would say it's definitely on the chopping block for two of the blushes. And possibly that bronzer as well, because it's looking very mustardy. So yeah, I need to pull that out again soon as well. That's everything in that little Z palette. Keeping that for now. And then we've got my Bleach London palette. So that's that one. And we've got some more Benefit ones in here as well, and some Tarte ones. Really, this should have probably gone in high end. Okay, so we've got a Tanya Bear one here. I don't know about this one. I could probably afford to let this go, but it's really nice and satin. We'll put it on the chopping block. And it came with this bronzer as well. This is from the Tanya Bear palette. And I really like the bronzer because it is glowy. You can see how much I like the bronzer. I've hit pan on it. I don't know what this one is by Benefit. Gold Rush. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Look at that, guys. Do you think there's some pan? Like, I can see waffle print there. Do you think that's pan or what is it? Because I don't know what that is. I don't know though. I don't think it is. But I'm close, I would say. I'm close to hitting pan. This could be on chopping block too. Isn't it funny how our preferences for makeup go a different way as we get older? And then this one, what's this? Rocker Chair by Benefit. So that one's Rocker Chair by Benefit. And that's quite mauve leaning, so that could be on the chopping block as well, because I'm kind of looking at it. The only reason why I'm keeping them on chopping block, guys, because they could look different on my cheeks once I've got the rest of my makeup on. And I want to see what they look like. I mean, they're expensive blushes. The big ones are like £27. The smaller ones are £15. You know, I don't just want to declutter them unless I'm 100% sure. Then we've got this Deck of Scarlet, really nice rosy toned. Let's take it out there because it's going all over the place. Then we've got this highlighter by Primark. It's a beautiful highlight, this. Part of it looks like it's getting hard pan. And then we've got two Tarte blushes. So a slightly darker one, very rosy red leaning, and then a pinker one. And then this is the last palette, guys. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so the first one is the Tanya Bear blusher. The next one is the Tanya Bear bronzer. So the next one is the Benefit Gold Rush. Then we've got Benefit Rocker Chair. Then we've got the Deck of Scarlet. I don't know what it's called. It's from a Deck of Scarlet Iron Face palette. Then we've got a Primark highlighter there. Then we've got two Tarte blushes there. So a quite like rosy one there, rosy red one, and then a more pink one there. And that's what they look like. Right, so now I've put everything back out. So we've got 15 in total. That's with the two that I'm decluttering, so 13. And 3 of them are like curated palettes, so 10 Shopboat palettes. That's not actually too bad. We've got a couple, one potentially going in a project pan, which is the sleek one, depending on what you guys think. Is there any others that are potentially being decluttered? I think it's more kind of like singles. Yeah, I think it's more singles. This potentially could get decluttered in December, but there's not really a lot here. So what I'm decluttering are these two Colourpop single eyeshadows, which don't want to focus. Oh, there we go. So those are going. This is going, this Sunkissed Crystal Craze, that's going, and then this has to go in the bin along with the single eyeshadows, unfortunately, just because I've used pretty much all of the product. I'm quite happy to let it go because it's had a lot of use. It was only £10 when I bought it, and I've literally used like 6 of the products, so yeah, it's served its purpose. So everything else now is going back in the drawer, and like I said, I will be doing lipsticks very, very soon. Not today though. And the things that you will see after this video, I think, is probably going to be single eyeshadows first. What you'll notice is I did my eyeshadow palettes first before I did any of this makeup collection, because I wasn't going to do it this way. But then I just thought, well, they might want to see swatches. I know that I like to see swatches of things when I'm watching makeup collections. So I've kind of done it now on how I would put it on my face. So I hope you like this kind of format. Let me know if you don't, and I won't do it this way again. Please like, it really does help my channel grow. It means the absolute world to me when I see those likes, when I've seen that you've liked and commented, share, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That would mean an awful lot too. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.